First of all, congratulations for your freedom. Very good freedom, both internal and external. Some of you it's your first time, some of you please don't correct. And the reason I'm saying don't correct is because the energy is still working inside. Okay? I know, let it correct on its own. A lot of times we know postures and movements, and we try and guess where should that move. But that's from the outside. And even if you release it, you will only release the level of the physical. But what we're doing here, any release that you receive, any expression of the posture that you will arrive to, will mean as a final expression, because we're working from the energy into. That means it will also release levels of karmic blockage. It will also release levels of emotional blockage. It will also release levels of the mind. And only then, on the inner level of the body, it will release all the cellular blockage and restriction. And only then expresses itself in the physical. Okay? So you're familiar with all the arts of yoga, tai chi, qigong, all of them. And I believe that all of them were created exactly this way. The master was able to reach a higher level of energy. That energy has taken him slowly, eventually, into postures movements. Those postures movements were observed, noted, and then taught. So a lot of the arts are taught as the forms of the master's expression. So there's a long way for us to learn how the master was able to express it. Along that way, we hopefully also receive the energetic benefit. What we're doing here is we're becoming those masters. We're working right away from the energetic benefit. We're working from the other end. But the other, I guess, the other benefit from what we're doing is that we are not what's that word? Rather, what's that word? When we are not discriminating. Thank you. We're not discriminating which art it is. When we are working from the inside out, we're literally integrating all ancient abilities that are already deep inside our own internal potential. So we're integrating yoga, tai chi, qigong, breathing, visualization, shamanic expressions, mantras. All of that will be expressed from the inside out in the order that we need it at this moment, and in the intermediate postures and movements that our body is able and requires at this time, every time, changing, integrating all of those arts from the inside, until you will see that some of your expressions will resemble something you already recognize. Some of your sensation will resemble something you already recognize. But understand that it came from another direction. And in the process, it also corrected something that couldn't have been corrected if we were, spend many years trying to achieve certain ideal postures. Not to say that you don't need it, not to say that it's not necessary. It's good what you do. Add the inner, and you'll see what happens. Okay, so that's it. First of all, that's the explanation for some of those things. Anyone who wants to share your experience, because you've had quite a powerful experience here. We have a small, intimate setting here today, and I'm very proud of you for the freedom that you have. Anyone wants to share something? Yeah.
I know as I was moving around, I could hear my neck and lower vertebrae snap, crackling, and popping.
Right. And how does it feel now?
Getting rid of stiff sort of parts. And feel it's sort of, ooh, yes, that's good.
Yeah. But remember, it was not because you were moving it. It's because it was moving you.
Oh yeah, every once in a while, I try and just relax and be there.
Right.
Then I could go and catch my mind and say, oh, stop, do this, whatever, and then go back and sort of relax into it.
Right.
I can see my mind doing that.
Right.
probably several dozen times during
Yes,
the course
yes.
of that.
I have not yet addressed our mind. I've said just observe. We haven't yet touched the mind. That's the next step. What we do with our mind. Okay? Perfect. Thank you. How do you feel right now, overall?
I can feel more energy moving, but I also have a stiff neck on
Right,
the
right.
side.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, it's going to work through. It's going to work through. Good. Just make sure you don't correct it on your own right now. Okay? Just let it be for a little bit longer. Good. Thank you. Anyone else? Any surprises? Yeah.
Okay. In the beginning.
Yes.
It's like an asthma attack. I have this in grade 7, I think. Here, like I couldn't breathe at all.
We heard it. We heard it. We know.
Yeah.
That's good.
I hope that healed.
Of course. But now you understand how it's healing. It's bringing back those things that our body
The
couldn't.
Opposite.
Absolutely. Opposite direction.
I think I felt an attraction like magnets. Go here, go there, go here. Like something was pulling me. So I let it pulling whatever.
In whatever direction you wanted to pull. Perfect. Beautiful. What about the hands? Did you feel that cushions under your hands? Cushions of air?
Yeah. Why you saw them? I feel the energy.
Yeah. And your hands were just floating on cushions of air. Did you notice? Okay. Beautiful. And how do you feel overall right now?
I feel like I slept 4 hours or something.
Right. Interesting. Very interesting. A lot of times, especially I used to teach in school and with the children, they used to confuse tiredness and heaviness. They used to say, I'm tired, I feel tired now. But what they're trying to say is, I feel heavy. Because generally, or relaxed, generally the only time we allow ourselves to relax, or any time to feel heavy, is when we're extremely tired. Or any time that we feel rested and empowered and inner calmness and clarity is only after a few good hours of sleep. And this is why we always refer to sleep, what I call forced meditation, sleep as to be the only reference point to the experience. But clarity, inner calmness and strength, and maybe heaviness as well of the body. Okay. Good, thank you. Anyone else? Yeah.
I meditate with a group on a weekly basis, and I noticed tonight that I wasn't trying to clear my mind. I wasn't trying to do anything differently. I found it a lot easier to get rid of all that chatter that I usually have all the time, and just go with it, because I wasn't trying to focus on the breathe in, breathe out your mouth. It was just that natural.
Perfect, thank you. Very good observation.
I noticed something on you. You had here a big, some sort of part, and now it disappeared. Yeah. You had that before?
I don't know what you mean.
Or yesterday? No, the Adam apple or something was more prominent when it came, and now it's not.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Yeah, but thank you. Anyways, so I think, thank you for that. I think you got the deeper. Like I said, some of us who do meditation or have done it before, you'll be able to see that we're only relying on the energy right now. We're not forcing it, just freedom.
The energy right now that I still feel coursing through my hands and my feet.
Yes,
It's really incredible.
Yeah, thank you. And do you notice how much easier to sit straight it is? Because what is happening with you is, even though you're leaning forwards when the energy is there, now the body actually pulls you. That posture of confidence and expansion in the chest is present, correct?
Yeah.
That's what they tell us. Sit straight, now you don't have to. Think about that. It's not natural posture, correct? Thank you. Very good. Very good. And clarity?
Yeah, there's a lot of clarity.
A lot of clarity? Yeah. And beautiful, beautiful. Clarity in many ways. Yeah?
This just seemed very easy. Like, it seems like what I was doing up until now was very hard, and I was having to always, it seems a lot, this is very easy.
Thank you. Good, good. Good. And you continue noticing the changes already, because as we said, we go from the inside. Yeah. Anyone else? Surprise? Any surprises?
I feel stretched out a little bit more.
Okay. And are you noticing how past and future starts coming together as one? It's quite an interesting question. I've never asked that before. How do you feel it? But does it make sense to you?
I think I'm not really thinking of that. I'm thinking more like when I first came here, when you first started telling us to sit in the chair and think about how your hands were feeling and how your head was feeling. There was a lot of discomfort. And after that, I find that it's easier to just sit, like my posture isn't straight, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Any feedback at all?
For me?
Yeah.
No, I just felt I just got more and more relaxed into just being on my feet. And I didn't feel, my body didn't have to do anything. It just sort of did its own thing.
Beautiful.
And just relaxed in its position.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. As you notice that, like I've said right from the beginning, each of us comes here with a different need, with a different, and the body speaks in its language to us, even though we are in one energy.
Can I ask
Yes.
something? My friend cannot relax, cannot feel never, ever,
Yes.
not here, not...
Okay.
I cannot teach her how to meditate or something. What she does wrong, I don't know.
Nothing.
I noticed she didn't unlock her knees, but...
Yes. The answer would be when we will be in the energy together for just a little bit longer, it will be a natural. It will be just like the example here, maybe not as profound, but it will just be much easier to sit and be.
Today or in the future, her future?
Even today. I think even today. Okay. So, and hopefully she will want to learn a little bit more, then she'll be able to be even more. But it's not a problem. As you see, the responses are very different. And we may be lucky, maybe not so lucky, but some people don't feel comfortable actually when the meditation. There's a breaking point. Like in your case, in the beginning there was a breaking, something had to give first until we reached that level.
It was very hard, actually.
Yeah, in the beginning. And then, now you're like a master in your seat, you feel in your place. Yeah. So that's good. Congratulations on that. Now,
Just had a question.
Yes.
Because you're asking, or you're suggesting,
Yes.
let it surprise you or allow it some. I just want to get like more specific advice how to make that happen. Is it just to stop controlling our expectation, or there's something in our mind that we can use as a tool maybe to help us?
Yes. I think, a good question. I think everyone would enjoy that. The answer may be, don't do anything to do that. Don't do anything to do that. Trust the fact that when the energy matches, it will free you. Right now, at this stage, we cannot go wrong. If it's busy, if it's moving, and if it's uncomfortable, let it be moving, let it be uncomfortable. If it's still, all over the place, the mind, let it be. Okay? Because what we're trying to do right now is we're not trying to use any techniques to control from the outside, to frame ourselves from the outside in. Because the thing is that if we use any techniques, it will work. That would be a problem. Because then, if we do that, we will not allow it to go deep enough into the karmic level to express outwards. So we could visualize this big white light, and maybe it will help us concentrate. It's possible. Or we could do this big breath and it will help us concentrate, or anything like that. It will help, but at the same time, it would keep us in that frame, and it would not allow it to happen fully from the inside. So what we do is nothing until it happens from within, and then for those of you who've done work, a lot of work and heard, then your container will match the energy. Then it will be a perfect match. The posture will match the energy. The thought will match the energy. The vision will match the energy. The sound will match the energy. 100%. Otherwise, the external is beautiful, but the internal is fighting still. Fighting together. Fighting to release. And we control. And we're rolling. Right? The effort. And we're trying.
One thing I noticed,
Yes.
I tried to follow what you said. For example, when the first one, my attention was on the hands and wrists.
Yes.
And the head. When I put my attention, they're on the hands or the wrist or in the head,
Yes.
then naturally the mind seemed to quiet. It's only if I didn't put my attention there that the mind wandered. As soon as I put my attention, as you said,
Yeah.
the thought sort of quieted
Okay.
down.
Okay. Well, that was your experience. Others may have different experience, but just so we understand, right? That's not the rule. Is right now we are in one energy together. The energy is rising. We're freeing ourselves the best we can on all levels, not trying to fix, control, not the posture, not the emotional state, not the mind, not the thought, nothing. We're just letting the energy from the inside guide us in the order of things: karmic, emotional, mind, physical, action, as needed. And then we meet always the perfect state. Okay? Questions before we move to the next step. We still have some work to do today. Questions?
Could you get benefit and not feel anything?
Absolutely, because well, it's hard. It depends what we mean. I mean, the benefit is tremendously bigger than the feelings and sensations, because it comes from the inside, and the benefit is on the unconscious level. But I think maybe a better answer to this question would be that we are not doing this meditation for the physical sensations. That's not the purpose, right? We define the purpose. So the physical sensations are just the guiding lights to let us know that we're moving forward, and things that we can follow through to give us, so the sensations, regardless if they're comfortable or uncomfortable, give us certain ways to measure our movement. But of course, our purpose again is to move from reactive state to proactive state, from a state of fear to the state of faith, from a state of separation to a state of unity, and it's natural, and from a feeling of uniqueness to prove how different we are from others, to uniqueness to prove how much we are a missing piece in other people's lives. Completely different, and not through force. We understand it here, but we are forcing it to happen. So what happens is the form doesn't match the energy, and we have a disconnect. We're doing things, we're trying, we're understanding, we're reading, we're listening to lectures, we're understanding it, believing it, and trying to do it, but it goes against the energy inside, and we have a conflict inside. And we can't resolve that conflict, and we say, I can't do this. Until the energy matches. And then you don't have to be in conflict anymore. You just follow through. And you recognize later what those words really meant. Because they're no longer just form. They're no longer just belief. They're not only just agreement on the mental level, but now there is a coexistence of the energy inside. Okay? So let me